So I love good movies, bad movies, anything in between, and there's a platform called Tubi, which is a free streaming platform. This is not sponsored, but it could be. And they have a wide variety of content. There's tons you can watch. There is ads, but there is so much content there. And today I'm going to be watching the 1968 film Astro Zombies. I'm anticipating this will be sci-fi, as Astro makes me think of space, obviously, and zombies, so maybe a sci-fi horror, something along like those lines. It's a pretty, straightforward title. I'm not expecting goblins or trolls. Like, I feel like this is what the movie will be about, and given that the year it came out, I'm expecting a lot of practical effects, which I love, so I'm very excited to see that. I'm not anticipating a ton of blood or gore or anything, again, given the year that it came out, but who knows? I always say that, and then it turns out to be the goriest, scariest thing that's ever created. I don't know the cast or the director or the plot or anything like that, but I think it's a safe bet to assume that Astro Zombies will be involved, which I'm excited about. Zombies in space. I've seen Life Force, which was vampires in space. You can check out that reaction video as well. But zombies in space sounds very interesting, so I'm excited to see what this is all about. But thank you so much for sharing and this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for movies you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. She driving to space? Where are we going? Come on. Yeah, I'm curious to see how they, if space comes to them, if they go to space, if space age zombies find them on Earth, what that looks like. It also looks dark, like it looks like there's like a overlay or something. Maybe they did that after and like post-production, like after it came out. Oh God, what's this? Oh, that was a interesting mask he had on. I think the zombies are here. And this heartbeat music. What? He looks like a fly. What is this? Oh, what does he have? What is this? A fork? Oh my gosh. Body count on our nice Mustang, of course, just covered in blood. Not a slow death, that's for sure. The blood splatter drips. Oh my. Well, we're already into it, I guess. I recognize his name. I'm not expecting to recognize anybody. This robot dance, these little miniatures for our intro sequence, okay. Just spinning around. Yeah, I don't recognize the director's name either. I can already tell this is going to be pretty cheesy, but I'm excited. I love cheesy movies. So dramatic. Wouldn't he have been shot? It doesn't matter. And I'm assuming this would have all been done practically, like they just put a camera in the car and drove around LA to get these shots, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just interesting to see.
I would like you to explain to Mr. Holman here the theories that you and Dr. DeMarco had developed on vital organ implants and thought wave transmission.
Go on.
The advance of our man in space program.
Yes, imagine feeding information from computers into the brain of a man in orbital flight.
Okay, interesting. That's how we're getting to space. We've come so far with modern medicine. They've just got metal probes into this guy's brain. They're like, how do you like these high frequencies? What's that doing to your noggin? Or riddle me this.
Let me remind you, gentlemen, everything said here is classified.
'Let me remind you, gentlemen, everything said here is classified. 'Let me remind you, gentlemen, everything said here is classified. 'Let me remind you, gentlemen, everything said here is classified. 'Let me remind you, gentlemen, everything said here is classified. 'Let me remind you, gentlemen, everything said here is classified. 'Let me remind you, gentlemen, everything said here is classified. 'Let me remind you, gentlemen, everything said here is classified. 'Let me remind you, gentlemen, everything said here is classified. 'Let me remind you, gentlemen, everything said here is classified. 'Let me remind you, gentlemen, everything said here is classified. 'Let me remind you, gentlemen, everything said here is classified. 'Let me remind you, gentlemen, everything said here is classified. 'Let
We must continue our investigations undercover.
And it's interesting to see that they're not, like, you seeing how they become zombies? They're literally building zombies with all these artificial parts, and then they're calling them something else. But yeah, ultimately they're zombies, and they're not gonna have their own thoughts. Yeah, I'm very curious. Or they're gonna transmit thoughts to the zombies. Not where I thought this was going at all. I thought we would take place in space. Like, I was expecting it to be on a spaceship.
There he is.
I just had like a Miami Connection flashback.
Well, there was some risks. Risks that require more compensation. I need more money.
I need more money. What's on this tape? She just threw water on him as well. Oh my god. He's not messing around. Yeah, we saw him like driving around, but like what was he recording? This guy's not bothered. Yeah, I think we're gonna be like a lot of the deaths are gonna happen off screen. That's what we saw with the first victim as well. And now this poor guy just waiting by the car. I do feel bad for that Mustang though. That was a nice car. The soundtrack's fun. I'm assuming this was mostly copyright-free music, but I'm into it. That delay. Oh my god. He could have easily moved. Oh man, the body count. We're at 3 already. 4? Cheese and rice. Yeah, with the guy at the car. Oh my gosh. There's always some weird scientist. I'm a little bummed it's not zombies on a spaceship, but we'll see where this is gonna go. Is this how they're extracting his memories? With giant bright lights? Sure. And a tin hat? It looks like the inside of a light without the light bulb in it, but sure. That's some high-tech machinery they got going on here. It's like, I just unscrew this and then put this little piece in and we're good to go.
Again.
Why is this guy giving him the side eye? Like, I don't trust it.
Our only hope of recovering our original creation is to be sure that this brain is a pure calculating machine.
Okay, so this is one of their creations that was out loose in the world? Interesting.
20,000 volts and 500,000 cycles, and we're ready.
That seems like a lot. And he keeps breaking the fourth wall, which I don't know if that was intentional or not, or he was just supposed to be looking slightly off camera. Oh! It looks like a kid's toy that they like one of those, not vacuum, but like those kids' toys that you would like push around that's supposed to like clean. Is it gonna do this for 10 minutes? Oh god. They seem to be filming a lot in like real time. Like we had to watch him open the box, take out the box, put the box back in. We could have easily assumed that he would have done that.
The most brilliant minds in the world, preserved forever for the benefit of mankind, to call on them for their knowledge.
That is interesting. That you could take someone's memories after they passed away, and yeah, I said like keep, you know, the knowledge from the most brilliant minds. It's an interesting concept for sure. I don't know what these random water jugs have to, but I'm no scientist, so what do I know? It's like, and you just insert the water tubes directly into the neck here, like I'm showing you, and you get Astro Man. Oh god, this supposed to be his blood. Oh god. That's gruesome. And I like that it's like just made to look like a box of ice with a frosted window. There's nothing actually inside because that guy's actually in the box. Like, that's all done practically. Oh, and then they've added fog. That's fun. Science. Make sure you get shots of us doing science. I'm a science guy. I gotta be in my lab doing my science experiments with my science babes.
My name's Eric, remember?
Would you believe a pinch on the nose?
Would you believe a pinch on...
Eric?
Well, that's sexual harassment in the workplace.
The young are never satisfied with anatomical experiments on plastic models.
Oh, what is he suggesting they're experimenting on?
Oh, the
No.
investigative hand.
Oh, my.
Inquisitive investigation is sometimes best done undercover.
Does he mean under the covers? I just like the gurgling sounds off camera, like, oh, I've got some science brewing. I'm doing some science things. And these like crazy whip pan transitions as well. The body count's adding up, man, with this like sci-fi sound in the background. Oh my, this is the first like kill we've seen. They've all been off camera. Oh! Well, maybe I spoke too soon. Yeah. This mask is so bizarre. Oh, the shadow. Oh my gosh. I don't know what this was rated. Oh god. He really hates people. 6 months this guy's been on a rampage? Come on. And what have we stumbled upon here? She's like, I am one with the curtain. I'm not sure what the dancing topless lady is adding to the plot, but sure. Here we go. It's only been on screen for like 5 minutes, but I seem really into it.
Then leave the club before you're seen.
If you don't mind, I'm most anxious.
But I do mind.
Are they tapping her calls, like recording them? What? She had a quick outfit change before the phone call? Why not?
109.
I feel like this movie could have done well with the power of editing. You know, it could have been a fun 30 minutes. But we're still going. We're still into it. I understand that in older movies the pacing is a bit slower, but this feels... It's a bit slow. I'm enjoying it. I'm curious to see where it's gonna go, but they're definitely taking the time to show every little piece of the scene and every little, like, oh, and then we close the door and open the door.
Who's it trying to put on? CIA.
Oh, the CIA's involved. Oh, that's trouble now. It's like, I have a knife, but I like to slap this guy around a bit. He's pulling his hair now. Oh my gosh.
Come on. Who are you?
Oh god, she's gonna burn him with the cigarette? What kind of weird torture is this? Oh my god! That's so... What?
Kill him.
Why?
I said kill him!
She's like, don't you dare question me. Oh! Oh my god! Good night.
All right, hold it right there.
It's like, we're just casually loading a body into our car. Don't you look at us. Oh god, a gunfight in the garage. I feel like they genuinely just like rented a hotel room to film in, which is fine. I just feel like that's the premise, because like they're running around. It seems like a very functioning hotel. I'm gonna assume this was low budget. Great name for a movie, but I feel like the budget was low. I don't know what it was, but based on what I've seen so far, it couldn't have been high. Is that just a walkie-talkie on the rocks? Like, is that his, or did they accidentally leave that there? Was that supposed to be gunshot? Oh man, this movie's nuts. Uh-oh, sneak attack! She's like, hey, recognize me? Pew, 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 pew! Into the pool for dramatic effect. You gotta do that in a oneer. Otherwise, you're waiting for him to dry off. Oh, he's already dead, man. Oh my gosh. They're just watching, like, that's cool. Yeah, good job, boss. This villain is the best part of the movie so far. Oh, and he's got a knife in his ear as well. But yeah, she's the best part of the film. With seat belts to tie her down. Oh my gosh. Are they making Astro Man a lady friend? Oh, what are we doing here? Yeah, this fake heart transplant. It's controlled by a light, like a light switch. Hate to leave that on and forget about it. Oh my god. It obviously doesn't look very realistic, but that's fine. And I'm assuming the black, like, fabric that it's laying on there's something underneath there, obviously, that's making it move like that, but it's not the worst I've seen. But yeah, it's interesting to see, and especially in sci-fi movies, like, what ideas they come up with, this, like, telepathic but science-based, like, transmitting brain messages without talking, obviously, and sending it up to space. It's interesting as well, like, not just between, you know, people in a room, but to go such a distance.
Rancho.
He's like, I'm just really excited about my green beaker of science goo, okay? Just let me have my moment. This guy and his looks, he's like one off camera, like, yes, like evil, menacing looks.
Of Emile Bordeaux, the nuclear physicist. Disappeared, service, Mexico, 8 months ago. That's the last we have on him.
Quite the rap sheet, oh my gosh. Yeah, no kidding.
Assistant. She'd remember all of them.
Chuck, get those records. I have an idea.
Yeah, because I was like, if Astro Man is killing, who's telling him to kill? Or is he like gone rogue? Oh, she loves to slap people. She's got a great wardrobe in this. Just amazing.
Succeeded in creating a subservient zombie. Not someone who questions orders.
She's like, sign me up. I would love a zombie. That's what I need for my team. They won't talk back. They'll do exactly what I tell them.
Direction finder.
Well, let's not waste any more time.
And I know it's a minor detail, but the title of the film is Astro Zombies, plural. Where are the rest of them? I was expecting an army of zombies in space. We got one guy, and I also feel like the brain of criminals is from another movie. I'm blanking on it at the moment, but I've definitely seen something similar before. Well, that's a horrible sound. Oh my gosh. And the glowing red eyes, it almost looks like a face.
Remove number 9 from the thermal freeze casket. Preparing for brain transfer and total astromobilization.
They're bringing the zombie to life. I feel bad that they didn't even give his assistant any lines. Ugh. Like, we can only pay one of you to talk, so pick who it's gonna be.
But where do you suppose he'll come in?
Honey, we don't know, but don't worry about it. He won't take a breath in here we won't know about.
Yeah, just sit here until the murderer shows up, and hopefully we make it in time to rescue you. And if not, you know, thanks for playing along. You've been great. Oh, the tension that is not building right now. Just sitting and waiting. I feel like we're watching it in real time. She's like, oh, and then there's the brain in the jar over there that could come to life. And she keeps looking at this clear, like, anatomy man figurine. That reaction, ah! As someone slowly opens the door. She's like, I've been on edge this whole night. Oh, what kind of park job is that, honestly? He's like waiting for them inside. Dun 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 dun. He's like, you thought you were the bait. Now you're walking into a trap. Also, this is supposed to be midnight, right? Not noon. Like, I'm assuming this is nighttime. She offered them, you know, coffee to come in and drink, but it seems very bright out. Anyway, not the point of the story. Oh my god, he's right behind you! Woo! Cue the dramatic death scene. Oh, she's fighting him off with a hairbrush. Okay. And the science effects, the sci-fi sound. Oh. He's like, oh, yeah, let me just check this and see what's going on here. Yep. Just oblivious. Oh, get him the bunks! He's like not hearing those screams. Finally registers. Oh, hey, wait a minute. That can't be good. With his tiny little flashlight. Oh my god. So many chops. Oh my god. I don't think that was supposed to happen. He's like, I'll show you. Takes the flashlight and leaves. He's like, I said no lights. So I cut the power.
Astro Man tried to attack her. Now look, I knocked off what might be his power source. It looks like a storyteller.
How convenient is that? Shining a flashlight into his head. Oh my gosh. He's like, I left my freaking power source behind. I need this now. I need the light. Oh my goodness. Probably the least scary monster in cinema history. This guy. Clearly just a dude in a mask, and now he's shoving a flashlight into his head. Yeah, like, it's an interesting, like, plan of attack. They're like, well, he feeds his transmissions, we'll get this machine that will interfere with his transmissions. Like, that's a really cool concept, and this fact that, you know, his brain has made him into a zombie, basically. But they haven't really called him zombie, even, despite it being the title of the film.
No, you're mistaken. Only I will go.
Plot twist.
Fool.
I have to take out any more from you. I'm sorry, Juan. You must go, too.
She's like, I have other plans.
Tyrus, my friend.
What a weird face grab. Oh, good night. These two are a deadly duo, let me tell you.
Tyrus, he was never any good at picking with winners.
Let's go. We must not keep Dr. DeMarco waiting.
And even our, like, Astro Man zombie isn't a typical zombie. Like, he's not slow moving, you know, he's not struggling. Like, he can move perfectly fine and is obviously going around killing people. And the fact that they're even calling him, like, Astro Man instead of, you know, an Astro Zombie.
Your own experiment will have to wait. I require your assistance in more important work.
He's like, how dare you? I work for no one. I'm my own man. It's like, just let me have some time alone with my lady, please. It's like, yeah, little zap here, little zip zap here, little boopity boop. Yeah, you're all good. Good as new with my magic crystal wand. Boop, boop, boop.
It's very important. In addition to the reception of all artificial light for the activation of the heart.
The security in this place definitely needs an upgrade. They just walked right in.
That is for us to decide.
Oh, there is another one? I thought that was this guy who made it back to the lab, but obviously he's still stumbling around with this flashlight. I don't know what the response would be to look an actor in the eye and say, so hold this flashlight to your head and run around town.
We know that you have succeeded in creating an Astro Zombie.
Hey, that's the name of the movie.
Recent murders, the news description of the suspect, and a tape of your lecture at the Astro Science Conference.
Yes.
Girl brought receipts.
Unfortunately, however, not totally successful. The only brain available to me at the time was that of a psychopathic killer.
He's like, that's fine. What could be the implications of that? It's cool. I'll just use that guy. Oh, no, not the assistant. Oh, God. He didn't do anything. Oh, my God. Just its machete? Just has this lying around the lab? Such a dramatic ending. Oh my god, what a gunfight. Now this guy's loose with a machete. It's definitely giving me like Jason vibes with this mask as well. He's like, I'll just patiently wait here like I was told. Where are these guns? No bullets, nothing. I'm assuming their effects budget was 0. Whoa! They decapitated that guy. That was so fake. I love it. Oh my god. Best part of the movie so far. Axe to the face.
Go ahead.
She's just waiting. Oh my god, it's a massacre. Yep. Oh. As they cut off his power and he just dies dramatically. He has to kill his own creation. That's why you don't mess around with science experiments. Oh, good night. She is merciless. Oh, and you too, probably.
I said kill!
I don't think those are gonna do anything. Oh, yeah, well, he did. Oh, electrocuted. Good night. They're just casually watching.
There's one basic element of human life that can never be removed. The emotions.
Oh, wow, 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 wow. Deep talks. The robots are back. Yes. I have no idea what they have to do with anything, but I love it. It's so weird. Oh, that's how they're ending it. Okay. So that was my first time watching the 1968 film The Astro Zombies. I was definitely expecting something different. We never went to space in any capacity, and I was kind of envisioning this, you know, entire movie would take place in space on a spaceship with Astro Zombies, and that's not the direction we went at all. And again, they're not very typical zombies. They weren't moving slowly. You know, obviously we saw the experiments they were doing with their brain and transmitting these thoughts, and the fact that he had used a brain from, you know, a psychotic killer basically, and that's what happened. This guy goes on a rampage now because this brain he's been given. Science experiments gone wrong, of course, is nothing new. We've seen that in sci-fi and horror films many times over, but I was kind of expecting something even more ridiculous, if that makes sense, but I felt like they were very heavy on the science, and I feel like the story kind of lacked. Like, I feel like they were trying to do too many things at once, and I was definitely just hoping for a cheesy plot on a spaceship where zombies were attacking and we could kind of, you know, figure out that storyline. I wasn't expecting this at all. I recognized one of the last names of the cast member, but that's about it. So let me know in the comments what I would know them from, or if I should recognize any of the other actors. This did come out a while ago, obviously, so maybe they went on to do other things and I just didn't recognize their name at the time. I can't imagine there are sequels or remakes or anything like that. I haven't heard of any, and again, I don't imagine this was a huge success when it came out. It seems like it was definitely low budget, and I love cheesy movies. I love bad movies. I don't know that this would be one I would rewatch right away. I definitely feel like the pacing kind of dragged it down a little bit. I definitely feel like the pacing dragged it down. Like, again, I understand this came out a while ago, and at the time that was kind of, you know, the more pacing for the films was a bit slower, but it just made every scene seem like it was going to be something really important. But, you know, seeing characters pull into the parking spot, park the car, then get out of the car, then we see them walk out. Like, it's, our brains can fill in the gaps. We don't need to see all of that. And seeing somebody walk down the stairs and walk out, even the scene where they're like sitting at a table, seeing them get up, get their bag, leave, like, we would assume they would leave the table, you know? So yeah, some of those were a bit tricky to get through, and I felt like if this was an exercise in editing, you could take out probably a third of it and it would be a really fun, you know, hour-long movie. But just that extra bit, like for an hour and a half, I definitely feel like some of those scenes, in my opinion, obviously, some of those scenes could have been cut down a bit, and everything seemed to be happening in real time. Like, it was a good 4 or 5 minutes of that topless lady dancing at the bar, which didn't really add anything to the plot, but sure, it's your movie if that's what you want to do with it. But it's just like, it felt like I was sitting there watching them, you know, like awkwardly, like, okay, is this happening now? Like, what are we doing? Where is this going? Is she secretly going to be involved? And obviously we saw some of the characters did meet up at that restaurant, and our characters were also there, were CIA characters, but I definitely feel like they saved the punches for the last, you know, 10 minutes when we have this crazy like murder spree on the lawn that's supposed to be nighttime. I'm assuming that's why the picture looks so like overlaid with dark colors. They're trying to make it look like it's nighttime, but clearly they shot it in the middle of the day, and everybody's just running around crazy. You hear these shots going off, and, you know, he's running around with a machete now, and just the way that they kill him is they just cut his power basically. So, but the fact that this guy's been on like a murderous rampage for 6 months and they're finally like getting involved, and because even in the first 5-10 minutes of the movie we have like 3 bodies. I think the body count got up to like 10 by the end of the film. Like, it was quick, like people were dying very fast, and to see our villain, you know, killed by being electrocuted, she was my favorite character probably, and the assistant in the lab were my favorite characters, because the villain was just such a ridiculous badass. Like, you could tell they were trying to just make her this, you know, no mercy, no holds bar, like, you do what she says. She wants these zombies to be her henchmen, basically, to go around, do her bidding, and she's, you know, running the show. So, and just great wardrobe as well. I didn't recognize the actress, but yeah, just to me, she kind of saved the movie, because I think if we didn't have this, you know, villain and she's spying on them, she's got the tapes of the plan, like, she's so involved in this intricate plot to get these zombies. And again, with the title like Astro Zombies, I was expecting like hordes of zombies would be attacking, or at least 10, like at least a multiples. I mean, we did have 2 at the end, but that also seemed like, you know, they were slowly adding more to the plot. And very infrequently do they call them zombies. He has another name for them. And again, yeah, they're not their typical zombies, so maybe that name doesn't fit. But yeah, there's some other experiments going on. When we have the brain and the heart like in their cases, you can definitely tell that it's just propped up by something, you know, underneath that's making it move. But again, that doesn't really take me out of it. I enjoy those cheesy factors, and I understand, again, when this came out, and that would have all been done practically, so I appreciate the time and creative problem solving you would have had to come up with to make something move like that, and to have it connected to the light switch, very impractical. But again, for the movie, you have to have something that makes this, you know, the actor can use to make this thing move. So, and it's especially tricky when you have a small budget. You have to, you know, make these things seem as realistic as possible. I don't know what the budget was. Let me know in the comments, but it can't be high. There's no way this was high. I'm going to guess $50,000, maybe. Yeah, I have no idea, but it couldn't have been a lot. And again, we have, you know, a relatively small cast, and we see the same locations repeatedly. Like, we're in the lab a lot, we're in their like CIA office a lot. Like, there's not a ton of different places that we go, and I feel like a lot of it was just done, you know, kind of like guerrilla filmmaking style, where they just show up and film. I'm going to assume that they didn't do, I mean, also at the time, maybe you didn't need to get the things that you would need to get today if you filmed, especially in a town like LA. There's going to be a lot of rules and a lot of restrictions. So yeah, and even there's a guy driving around like shooting out the window and just trying to get all these elements. And the intro with the robots was amazing. I love that part. And the miniature tanks and like all these things that they had. I don't know why they chose that for the intro, and they had that for the outro as well. Like, that's how we ended the film, with a very like sharp cut as soon as most of the cast is dead. Okay, cut to the robots and them like spinning around. And I mean, I'd rather have that than just like text on a screen, because at least this is entertaining. But I don't know why they were thinking robots. Maybe they were initially planning to have the script involve more robots, but not zombies, nothing. And we had a lot of what I call science sounds in the film, like for, when they're in the lab, there's always something gurgling, there's always some potion brewing in the background, and they've got all the beakers with different colors. It's like, okay, we're doing science, like this is our science time. And any scene where the zombies showed up, our Astro Man showed up, they had like a very stereotypical sci-fi like ping sound in the background, and even the heartbeat sound we heard throughout as well, like for the really intense moments. And again, I understand the budget. I didn't recognize any of the songs, so I'm assuming, that was mostly stock music. The special effects and the blood and everything I think was very fake. But again, I wasn't expecting a super realistic, crazy intense scene. A lot of the kills happened off camera, probably because they couldn't afford to show them. We did have one on camera, which was very intense when he's like aggressively stabbing somebody, and, still not a ton of blood or gore, which I was expecting because given the time, and that requires a big budget if you're going to show those things. We had like the prop organs, and that was probably like as gory as it got. The decapitated head at the end was also very fake, but again, I'm not saying that in like a negative, tearing it apart way. I didn't know what to expect going into this, and then, as soon as it kind of starts, you can tell the kind of the tone and the style that we're going for the film. So I was definitely, once we got into it, I was not expecting, high, intense, budget for these scenes, and yeah, the super fake blood and the decapitated head at the end. It was just, I mean, again, I really appreciate the craftsmanship that somebody had to make that. Like, I couldn't make a decapitated head, so I'm not gonna. Did it look fake? Yes, but did they do the best they could? Probably. And I noticed when the scientist is like giving directions to his assistant, it's very particular, and like 10.2 of this and 2.9 of this. And I almost felt bad for that actor because he had some pretty intense, like science heavy dialogue. And I don't know if the screenwriter has a science background. I didn't recognize his name. It was like an original screenplay, but I definitely feel like they drew inspiration from other things, or other movies drew inspiration from this, because they definitely felt like there was some crossover. I feel like they were trying to emulate Frankenstein, which I know came out before this, and definitely some other pieces. So maybe that's where he was going, is kind of his take on Frankenstein. I was wondering if this Astro Man was going around killing people. I was like, okay, is there going to be some kind of evil, overlord that's sending transmissions to this guy's brain, telling him to kill people? But no, it turns out it was just the brain of this psychotic killer. And they definitely mentioned sending the signals to space, but we never got to see that, which again, I was a little disappointed in, because, pretty early on in the movie, they mentioned that this has the capability of sending things to space. So I was like, okay, they're going to cut to somebody in a spaceship somewhere, or a space station, and, be able to transmit messages. And a very interesting concept, because like, think about if that was real, how that would play into warfare and stuff like that, to be able to send, or even just like regular communication, like how you'd be able to send astronauts messages basically telepathically, but through, transmitting these signals to their brain, and they would just instantly have that knowledge, and being able to take the memories, like he was, saving his knowledge. And I thought that was a really cool idea as well, of them being like, okay, we'll get the most knowledgeable people in the world, and I'm going to take their, once they pass away, take their memories and their knowledge, and then have like this infinite library bank of all the smartest people in the world. It would be so cool. I mean, this like digital library concept, basically, with people's memories, I thought was really interesting. And that's what I love most about sci-fi, is just the ideas that come up with, and like, oh, that would be interesting, what if that was real? And just kind of the endless possibilities you can play with sci-fi. Some are obviously more realistic than others, but still, it's just one of my favorite genres, and I'm so excited anytime we get to delve into that. Overall, I enjoyed it. I probably won't watch it again anytime soon. Let me know if there are sequels. I can't imagine how, but let me know, and if you think I should watch them. I feel like this movie had some great moments. I really like the concept. It was a cool idea. I'm definitely a little disappointed we didn't get to go to actual space and see that, and have them transmit a message from Earth to space. I think that could have been fun. And zombie probably wasn't the right term, but again, it was interesting concept, and to see where they were going to go with the story. But thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for movies you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. Is she driving to space? Where are we going? Interesting mask he had on. I think the zombies are here. It's high frequencies. What's that doing to your noggin? I need more money. Is this how they're extracting his memories with giant, I don't know what these random water jugs have to, but I'm no scientist, so what do I know? Like, we can only pay one of you to talk, so pick who it's gonna be.